Hello, swing trading weekly profits. Well, we are going to have an overview of the week to see how we did during the week. So for the week we are in, today is November 30th, and it should be week 47 or so, but we will find out. So we'll go to our weekly profit tab, and we can just scroll to the current week. We are in week 48, but to make sure it is the right week, we can duplicate that row and we'll put week 49, week 50, week 51. Okay, and we can add week 52 as well. So we are in week 48 as of November 30th, 2024. And during week 48, our weekly profit is 2,400. And it is an interesting week. We sold some stocks that we purchased months prior and were able to sell it this week, and that will be this stock, and we make quite a bit from that one stock. And the lesson from that is when you buy more share of a stock, the profit can increase there, but it took us months to get for that stock to become positive. We purchased it multiple times, and we purchased a few times at the beginning of the year, and we purchased it again, and it went down and stayed down for months, probably from March or February all the way to November for me to sell it for a profit. My husband sold it at some point, sold some share at some point to pull money out of it, and he sold it while it was still negative, and we lost some money there, but with some profit and some previous profit, and this one decreased the net loss to that amount, to 3,000. But yeah, when he sold it for a negative amount, it was quite high. So that is the week 48, and we can go back to the stocks by going 1 week at a time, going backward, and you can see that it's not every month that we make that amount of income, and some week we may not make anything at all, and we say a minimum weekly income to be $300. So some month we are able to exceed that minimum weekly profits, and some month we didn't even reach it at all. You can see we have $100 or so weeks, and probably some weeks we didn't make anything at all. As we go down the memory lane, and that is the week my husband sold that stock for a loss. So for week 29 we made about $47 profit that week. We have low profit weeks as well, And those are realistic weekly profit from swing trading. And week 21 we didn't make any profits. Week 20 I sold a stock and I sold it at a loss, and I think it was a stock we purchased for dividend purposes, and a dividend got reinvested. But I believe in overall it was I saw the profit there when I sold it, but because we purchased it multiple times over the years, we purchased it at a higher price at some point, lower price at some point, but for the price it was selling when I sold it, obviously I didn't do my calculation right. So intentionally I sold it for an overall loss there. I just don't recall the reason behind it, if I was running my calculation when I was when I decided to sell it or what, I'm not sure. But we have some week that we didn't have any profit at all. And one way to know the stocks that has this issue in week 20, we can just go down to see even that's just one stock or multiple. So there is one here, could be dividend related, and the highest one was row 80. So okay, so that is the stocks, but we have some profit that month that decreased the loss. But we row 80 we can go to at some point, but we'll continue. And some weeks we didn't make anything that week, we didn't sell anything that week, and some week we are around that 300 target that we set. And it's just, you know, an example of how much we made swing trading per week. And we saw some dividend stocks that we purchased for dividend income. When they became positive during the year, I sold them for profit so that I can free more cash for swing trading. So we can go to row 80 to see the stock that was sold at a loss. And I think that stock I think I'm recalling it now, that stock we purchased it, and at some point he issued another stock and decreased some of our share to that stock, M3M. I don't know what stock he gave us. Is it SOLV? I'm not sure, but that's what happened. But in the account though, it show us a profit there or so, and then I sold it. But since I recorded it with the quantity of share that we purchased originally, and then he allocated like almost half of those number of shares to another different type of stock. So I think there was a branch that came out of that company, became public on its own. I don't really read those things, I just know what happened in my account. And so we saw a new stocks that I didn't purchase in the account, and we saw some share in it and some share decrease in MMM. So based on what was in the account, it was profitable, but when I sold it and I did my transaction record, it became negative because I started with a certain number of shares, and when I sold it, it's not that quantity of share that I sold for the amount that I sold it for. Based on the quantity that I sold, if I only use that for what I purchased, there will be a profit like how my account was showing it, and then I decided to just sell it for a profit. So if we go to MMM, and that is something I should have written down so that I don't keep asking myself, okay, so why this stocks is negative here. So as you can see, I try to record, let's see here, the way I recorded it. $152 shares for how much we sold it for. But let's see if I did the same thing here. And I think I will have the same number of shares here. $152 share as well. But yes, but I think we purchased more than that, and and half of it was pretty much allocated to that new stocks that they introduced to the stock market. Anyway, I don't really know, but you can see the price we bought them originally for, so it is higher than what we sold it for, but it was showing a positive number in the account, and I decided to sell it. That's what I like to see. I like to say intentionally selling for a loss, because I must have not done calculated my numbers right to decide. So when you purchase a stock and it's paying you dividend, or you purchase it multiple times and you have a profit for overall and you are selling it, one way to do it is to go through your record, the history of those purchases, to see how much you purchased them at different point compared to how much is selling currently, to see if the highest price amount, how much you pay for it, is lower than how much is selling. That allows you to have a profit in every single one of those sales. Otherwise, sometimes overall you'll be having a profit, but when you are making you are recording your transaction to allocate how much you sold to each one of your purchase, some rows will be negative and some rows will be positive, and the sum of it will be positive. And I have some like that, but times to times I will try to see the history of those purchases, especially when we purchase for dividend income purposes. I'll purchase multiple times. When the stock goes down, I'll purchase it. When it goes down, I'll purchase more. And when it's profitable, I'll sell all of them. But to determine if you really have a good profit, it'll be good to know how much you purchase them each time you purchase them, to see if the highest price is lower than how much is selling, so that on every single one of those purchases you made a profit, not just in overall. So that's one way to view it. But this is our weekly profits, and let's see our overview. And again, it will depend, your weekly profit will depend on the type of stocks you are trading. We are trading very specific stocks, large cap stocks, uptrending stocks. So, and based on our swing trading strategy, that is our weekly profit up to year to date. So we are going to check our daily profit, our weekly profit, and our month to date profit. We are going to review that in another video for our monthly profit. So let's see, there is different ways you can calculate how much your return, your weekly return. We have used this approach in a video, but we are going to calculate some return on investment as well for the week. And let's see the different things that we need to review for our weekly review. Our dividend income, we didn't check that, we need to. Our daily profit, we need to do that. We just review our weekly profit. We need to review our trading summary, our daily purchases, the daily sales, the weekly trades, report, the commitment, the amount spent, the weekly return, and the weekly ROI. So let's see if we can remember every single one of those things, and let's get started. So first, we glance at our daily transaction sheet. Let's go to the dividend. So for the dividend, we are not tracking them by week, we are just tracking them by month, and we pretty much add them as we go. But you can see that for for this month, November, we have about $100 there. So let's go to the daily profit. So the daily profit, the week 58, let's see here. So November is 25 to the 30th. So 25 to the 30th. And for this one, you know, we have our stocks on one side, and we will go to $25. So 25, I'll be here. Okay, so for the daily profits, the 25, it was a Monday. That Monday alone, we have about 2,200 profit there because of one single stock accounting for more than half of it. Tuesday, we have about $71 profit. Wednesday, $85. Thursday, nothing. Friday, nothing. And because of the holidays, Thanksgiving holidays, so Thursday and Friday, we didn't sell anything. Therefore, no profit there. And those profits are calculated, taking, because we are tracking our stocks by row, when we buy and when we sold it, and we have our dates that we sold it, we can pull those record to our report sheets. So now let's see the next report we need to take a look at. We are going to take a look at the monthly profits in the monthly overview video. So trading summary may not, let's see, I don't think it will give us a good report here, in the sense that we purchase the same stocks multiple times. Therefore, it's going to track each time we are purchasing those stocks. It's going to track many times that we are selling it. Therefore, there will be a repetition going on here. Let's just keep that in mind. So for the year, those are the share we purchased, share we sold. Again, we buy, we sell the same stocks. We have our, let's see here, I didn't open it. Okay, but anyway, we have our stock watch list, 70 cc to 70 stocks on it that we narrow down them to, that we trade. So we trade the same stocks over and over and over. Therefore, it's going to, it's going to just total the number of times we purchased them, the number of times we sold them, and the profit. So and then we have some stock we have not sold yet. Therefore, it's going to track all of those as well. And when we are seeing this one, we sold it already, and we have that negative. That negative is realized. This negative here is not realized. It is unrealized loss, because we purchased it, we have not sold it yet. And that particular one is AMAT. If we go back to our daily journal entry sheets, Jalen, did you write? You read for 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
You still need to write before you go to your computer. So we bought it. Last time that we bought it, we have not sold it yet. So we have a committed amount there for it. We have not sold it yet. You can see it. It has been some months already. So we haven't realized loss there. It is pretty much accounting for that as well. So we have some unrealized losses here and few realized loss. And based on that, and again, how many times you can see, that's the beauty of swing trading. We do not have that amount of money in the account, but for the number of times that we trade during the year is throwing all of that, is having $1,514,000 there, and we sold it $1,438,000, and we have the unrealized and realized loss and gain combined there. So it's not going to give us a good view of the account, but that's that. And the unrealized loss and gain, I believe I have the account position. This is the month. Yeah, let's see the account, the loss. This is the unrealized loss and gain there is negative 34,809. So for stocks we purchase, dividend stocks and swing trading stocks, they are all in the account, and the one with unrealized losses and few unrealized gains, they are all there. So it's negative 34, but on our sheet, based on how that report is pulling things, it's showing us 76,000 negative here, but we will continue. So it is a report that I don't really see the usefulness of it. So this one is daily purchases. So it's tracking how much we are, what we are buying on a daily basis, and we can just see if we can it'll be good to freeze them instead of hiding them, but I'm going to hide it, the previous ones. But pretty much you can see is just showing what we purchase on a daily basis. Let's stop it at the beginning of November. And just hide the rest. And let's go to our week. Bless you. So the week of 25 to the 30th. So on Monday, we spent about $5,100 to purchase stocks. Tuesday, we spent about $13,000 to purchase stock. Wednesday, we spent about $4,000 to purchase stock. Thursday, Friday, we didn't purchase anything. So that's pretty much in some way how this report can be useful to us. It's just to track daily purchases, how much of the account has been allocated. If it's working right, it's tracking those again from the daily entry sheets. And here we have the daily sell. So let's trying to hide some of those. You can see that some days we don't sell anything. And this report can actually allow you to see days that you do not sell. Like you can see some repetition that, oh, there is a day of the week that you don't sell anything. In the past, I noticed that on Monday I don't trade generally. Let's just high, but clearly it changed at some point because we purchased things on Monday this week, and this Monday, no, let's go to the 25. So this Monday we sold $56,000 worth of stock. Tuesday we sold $4,900. Wednesday we sold $9,700. And let's see how much we spent those days. Okay, and that's what we spent to purchase stocks, and that's why we sold some stocks too. Not necessarily the stock we purchased that same day, but because we do not like to sell the same day, we swing through that day trade. But some other stocks that we purchased before, we sold them. Now let's go to the daily profits. So for the daily profits, and again, if you go to the daily sale, you can see that, okay, so since we are talking about 1 week, pretty much we sold every single one of the day of this week before the holiday, so that's nice. Now for our daily profits, we'll go to November here. So pretty much what is doing, okay, it's still pulling it from our daily transaction, daily entry tab, but for that Monday we made about 2,200, and that 2,200 is not taking, do you see how much we bought that day? And do you see how much we sold that day? It's not taking how much we sold that day minus how much we bought that day. If we did that, the profit will be huge. It's not what we are doing, but we are going back to the tab, the sheet we record our transaction. So it's taking what we sold, the cost associated with those stocks, like how much we purchased the stocks that we sold for 56,000, how much we pay for it. It's taking it out of this amount to find that profit of 2,000. That's what I like this workbook. It takes time to do those manual entry, but it allows us to track those profit and losses by stocks, not by day. I don't know if it makes sense. So pretty much for whatever we sold for $56,000, we must have purchased them around 54 or so thousand for the difference to give us about 2,200, if that makes sense what I'm talking about. So on Tuesday we have a profit of $71. For that day we sold things for 4,900, and for that day we bought things for 13,000. And you can see it's not doing the subtraction between what we purchased that day and what we sold that day, otherwise it will have recorded a loss. Again, it's taking stocks that we sold that day and find when we purchased them and how much we purchased them for, and take it out of that amount. It's giving us $71. And on Wednesday we have $95 profit there, and that Wednesday we sold 9,700 worth of stocks and we purchased 4,100 worth of stocks. But on that day we made $95 from those sales because of how much we pay for those stocks that we sold. Our profit that day was $95, and we didn't have any more sales for the week. So let's see here, weekly trade. So for the weekly trade, let's see if I can freeze something here. Let's see if we can freeze this, or maybe we froze it already. No. So let's go to view, freeze panel. Let's see what kind of panel is going to freeze for us here. You froze the wrong panel. Okay, let's try it again. Unfreeze, and let's go okay, let's see if we select those and we freeze. Now it froze more than we wanted. Okay, so let's just go with it. So let's go to week 48. Those are the week numbers on top. You can see there are some days we didn't do anything. Okay, and you can see when you have a discrepancy, you maybe you didn't add all your weeks, which will be most likely if everything else is okay. So we are just going to drag this, and I don't know, I think that's a little bit too much here, but let's insert copied cell here, and let's go back to okay, let's go to week 24. Let's change this to week 25, and we can go from there. And out of fill series, let's see if we gone good far enough. No, it's not enough. Okay, so let's copy this one, because I want to keep the formatting and the total formula there. I think that's enough here, or maybe not. Let's try it again. Okay, so you paste it 3940. Let's drag this 40 here. To here, and fill series. Okay, we are getting somewhere, and you can see that our discrepancy disappeared, so we got it right. But what we added, let's copy 50 and just have enough for the year, shall we? That is not enough, but let's try first. Or maybe it is. So 51, 52. Okay, let's see if we are still okay here. Yeah, we are still okay. And the reason why we have here is because we purchased some stocks prior year and we sold it this year. Again, dividend stocks. Therefore, it's going to track all of those for us, and we are still doing okay. So let's make sure, and pretty much is taking the difference on our daily entry tab. We have the total of the profit there as well. Is comparing it to this one. If there is things are not well recorded, there will be a discrepancy. But let's go to week 48. So week 48, we spent $68,000 to purchase stocks, and we sold stocks for $71,000. We paid about $2 in fee. Amount after fee $71,000, and the profit is $2,400. Let's see how this is calculated. Okay, it's pulling it from the daily entry tab, which is great, because if he wants to pull it from here, I don't know, it could be different. But let's see if we take this minus this. Okay, is giving us about the same amount as well, because again, since we purchased the same stock multiple times, if it happened during the week and we didn't sell it, then doing the subtraction between the two here, I'm assuming it may not be accurate, but it's pulling it. So yeah, it's pretty much summarizing the profit column on our daily tab if the week there matches this week. Okay, so, and that's the reason why it's pulling these cells from there as well, but there is no profit. Otherwise, if we are doing the calculation between the sold and the purchase here, we'll have a loss here of that amount, but it's pulling it from our daily entry sheet. So for week 48, we have about 2,200 profit there, and I don't know, 2,400 profit. We'll continue, and I don't know is it what we have for our weekly profit too? Yes, that's the same amount. Good. That means we are doing our tracking, recording well. So now the commitment. What I like about the commitment report, let's go to week 48 here. Week 48. So that means we purchased some stocks during the week that we have not sold. So we have about $17,000 worth of things that we purchased that we have not sold. I think there was a tab that was tracking our trade. No, that one what gave us that. The daily purchase, we can see this week. Let's see how much we spend here. $22,430 to purchase stocks, and out of that $22,430, we still have $17,000 worth of stocks that we purchased that we have not sold yet. And one way I like to track that is when I purchase a stock and I'm doing the recording of it, I will add the amount that I pay for it again in this column of commitment. Then I will clear the sold section of it. So when I sell it, then I will remove that amount out of here, and any dollar amount in this commitment tab will be tracked on the commitment report sheet, and that will let us know what week we purchased what that we have not sold yet. And for week 48, we have $17,000 worth of stocks. Again, when you are doing your recording, it's good to date it. It's going to use the date. We have the week formula there, the month formula, so it's going to use the date to track your week. And week, because this we bought it last year, but we should be able to find week 48. It'll be good to start it from the commitment column. I think I just saw 48 or not, but yeah, we bought certain things. Okay, so we have week 48 here, but we sold it, so it's not going to account for it. So pretty much we bought this one on Monday. You see there is no commitment there. That means we sold it, and we sold it on the 27th. But clearly there was some that we purchased that we didn't sell. I don't know when we bought those, but yeah, is commitment is tracking it from here, and it's good to remove the amount from the commitment column when you sell a stock, so that it does not keep counting it that you have not sold it yet when you sold it. And this commitment report just pretty much allow us to go down and see stocks we purchased that we have not sold yet. And as you can see, there is a stock we purchased on week 13 that we still have not sold yet. So that is, and it'll be good to take note of that stock to see what it is and to see what to do about it after we sold it, after it become positive and we sold it, if that's something we want to keep swing trading or not. So I don't know what stocks it is, week 13. So yeah, swing trading requires some time. Okay, that's this stock, is it? Yeah, that's this stock. Is it the only one? I'm not sure. But it's this stock. So we have 2100 of it there. Let's see. You see, we have not sold it yet. But it's not the only one. I thought we saw 6,000 worth of stocks there. Yeah, it's not the only one there. But yeah, that's pretty much how you'll take note of those stocks that you purchased, and it took quite a bit for you to sell them before they became positive, for you to sell them because you don't want to sell for at a loss. And you take note of those stocks to see if you better adjust your swing trading strategy with them or take them completely out of the list of the stocks you want to swing trade. So we have amount spent colon sheets, and this, let's see what we have at the top here. Amount spent. Okay, so because we have some stocks that we purchased some years ago as well on it, I try to have those prior year there as well. Otherwise, this workbook is just supposed to track 1 year worth of transactions for you. Now we can go to week 48. And I don't know how it's tracking it though, but it's tracking something. So we spent 22,400 there. Okay, so I don't know how it's tracking it, but clearly it's doing something there. So we are not going to do the monthly trade. We'll go to the weekly return on investments. And if we go back to our let's see, I think, yeah, we went through all of that, but we are going to use, not even this one, we are going to use two ways to calculate return on investment. I like the second option here better, using capital invested and divided the weekly profit by that. When the first option is taking the weekly profit divided by the cost of those stocks purchases during that same week, keeping in mind that there are some stocks that we purchased that we didn't sell that week. And maybe we should have, but yeah, and this one, the weekly profit is taking the what we sold during that week minus the cost of those stocks that we sold, like how much we pay for those stocks that we sold. And the weekly profit is already calculated on our daily entry sheet, doing that for us. And I like this option better. When this option is using the stocks purchased during a certain week minus the cost of stock purchase, the stock sold during a week minus the cost of stock purchased during that same week, divided by the cost of stocks, yeah, divided by pretty much this again. And in that sense, it does not really work for us because we purchased some stocks, we sold some stocks that we didn't purchase that week. Therefore, I just don't feel like it's a good reflection of what I'm trying to track. Another thing that I'm thinking that it could have done will be the weekly profit, using how much we sold stocks minus how much we pay for those stocks, like how much we sold stocks in a week minus how much we pay for those stocks regardless of when we bought them, divided by that how much we pay for those stocks. That makes sense. So it could be a third way of doing that as well. But yeah, I'm not tracking it. I'm not tracking that third version. I'm not calculating that third version of ROI, but I think that'll be a good one to track as well. Instead of capital invested, the cost used here to calculate the weekly profit could have been used to calculate like as in the denominator as well, to see the return. But and in some way we could pull that from our daily entry tab, because we are calculating those return here, which is just taking, you see the profit, that's where that profit for the one that is divided by the capital invested is pulling it from this column. That profit is taking how much we bought, how much we sold a stock, minus the fee we paid, minus how much we purchased it. Let's do that again. How much we purchased it, and this could have been used as well since we have a spot for fee there. And as it's doing it like that, we have our profit column that we could pull as well. And because it's already calculating it using what we purchased, what we sold minus what we purchased, the cost of those, we could pull the profit from here by summarizing the return, the profit rates by week as well. The profit is just taking this the rate is just taking the profit minus the cost divided by the cost, but it's doing it on a single stock. If you wanted to do that for the weekly, then maybe we can just total those profit rate for each week. But yeah, that'll be a good one to do as well. But we are going to go back to our weekly ROI, and for our weekly ROI we are going to let's see if we can freeze something here. Okay, so let's go to week 48. So for week 48 we have 2,400 of our profits divided by the capital invested is giving us 2.1% return for that same week. And this is the option that I like. For that same week, when we use the weekly profit divided by total stock purchases during that week, is giving us 217%, which in my opinion it is now a true a true picture of what I want to track. By doing that, some months are going to be, some weeks are going to be less, some weeks are going to be more. Again, because it's taking how much we sold that week minus how much we purchased that week to calculate the profits. When what we sold that week, there are some of them that we purchased multiple weeks prior. So therefore, it's not going to be a true picture of what I'm looking for. But again, I don't think there is one way of calculating those return on investment. You just have to see which one you like better. So how do you calculate your return, your swing trading return? Will you please share it with us in the comments? But yeah, that's why I don't really like this, because it's not really give me a good picture of what I want to track. And I like this version better. And the third version will be to just summarize the profits return from the daily entry. Since it's calculating the profit, the return there for us per stocks, we can just summarize them by week as well. But again, we have the total deposit in the account, and that's something you have to track your deposits. And for this particular account, we use just swap, and they are deleting old data there, and the furthest that I could have gone was 2020. And I know that 2020 we didn't have any we didn't deposit any amount in the account, and at that point, it was after that point that we are able to pay off our debt and we start investing. But before that, we are trading and investing in our individual brokerage account and Roth IRA, my husband and I. So we didn't do much with our joint account. We have Toro and a gas company that we purchased few shares of and have it there, that's it. And we sold the gas company some years ago, and the Toro, I believe I sold it this year. But it was in 2021 that we started putting money in it intentionally, and just stop putting money in our individual brokerage account and Roth, and just put money in the joint account so that we can actually create a stream of income by swing trading and investing in dividend stocks, and then and buy them at 52 weeks low and sell them at 52 weeks high. And it was in 2024 that I actually start swing trading. So I try to go through my record and chart swap account history to be able to pull those transactions and be able to see how much we actually contributed to the account. And and I like to pretty much take note of that, because I think if we use that as the capital, what we actually put there, any return on it, we can actually see, okay, we started with this amount, and and then the account value is this amount. So I like to go with that capital investing. And as you make more deposit to your account, your total is going to change here, but it'll be good to come in here and actually make the change in the week that you made more deposits to the account to change the capital there. For that reason, we didn't equal this row to our deposit row, so that when the dollar amount change there, it does not change from week 1 for you. So manual entry will have to be made so that it can only change from the week you make more deposit or withdraw from your account. So for week 1, week 48, we have 2% return here, and we have, based on this option, which I don't like, is way high here. And that is our weekly return on investments when it comes to swing trading. We can see our year-to-date as well. We'll do the monthly ROI in another video, but we can see the year-to-date. Again, the year-to-date is taking the year-to-date profit divided by the capital invested, and we have about 16.78%. And we have seen this profits as we went along from tab to tab. And the capital that we actually contributed to the account over the years, we have 16% return there. The second option that is taking the year-to-date profits minus what we purchase, stocks we purchase throughout the year. This year we have negative 5%. And again, we purchase stocks that we have not sold yet. And when we take a look at our account position as of end of November, in addition to the stocks that we have for dividend income purposes, I don't know if this is bankrupting or what, but yeah, we purchase for dividend income purposes, but it's there. But yeah, in addition to dividend income purposes stocks that we purchase, we have stocks that we purchase for swing trading that we have not sold yet, either because we recently purchased it or we purchased it some months ago and they went down, but we do have them here. And again, 34,000 unrealized loss here. So for this approach, taking the cost of all the stock we purchased during this year, sold or not, and the annual profit divided by them, we have a negative 5%, and I don't think that's a good representation of the account. Therefore, I like the one that is using the profit we made based on how much what we sold to actually realize the loss or realize the gain, divided by how much we actually contributed. I like that approach better, but I have both options on the sheet. And how do you calculate your yearly return on your swing trade? And again, here is capturing not just swing trade, but dividend income that we sold as well, because as they become positive, we sell them, and we do all of that in one account. And I'm not going to separate the returns, they are going to be combined. But this conclude how it just give us an overview of what our week 48 profit is for swing trading. Thank you. We thank you very much for your time. We thank you very much for watching our videos. And we thank you very much all that subscribe to our channel. Do you swing trade, or are you thinking about starting? Just start small, learn a strategy and practice it, and improve it from there. And just again start small. Thank you.